Hello. Today is Saturday, June 27th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, the Iran war's impact is now reverberating through the U.S. economy, with former President Trump calling for an investigation into big oil for alleged price gouging. The Iran war refers to escalating military clashes involving Iran and the United States, with significant activity in the Strait of Hormuz since June 2026. This conflict has heightened global energy market volatility as Iran controls key oil shipping lanes critical to global supply. U.S. households are feeling the effects most sharply via rising fuel prices and broader inflationary pressures driven by ongoing disruptions in global oil trade, alongside intensified sanctions and military operations since April 2026. In the last 24 hours, U.S. gasoline prices leapt 12%, reaching a national average of $4.35 per gallon amid fresh missile exchanges between U.S. and Iranian forces, as Bloomberg reports. Chevron announced it will suspend Persian Gulf oil exports, potentially affecting up to 3 million barrels per day, and the U.S. government responded with emergency strategic petroleum reserve releases totaling 10 million barrels to help stabilize the domestic market. Looking ahead, U.S. households face further gasoline price hikes and elevated grocery bills, with inflation projected to exceed 5% by July. Supply chain disruptions could lead to regional shortages of diesel and jet fuel, hitting transportation and shipping hard. If the conflict persists, global oil prices may surge above $150 per barrel, slowing consumer spending and triggering wider economic fallout, including increased defense spending that may divert federal resources from social programs. Next, onto the acceleration of electric vehicle adoption. As Fortune explains, the Iran war is triggering a surge in electric vehicle adoption, outpacing any previous climate policy influence. EV adoption is accelerating globally as governments seek to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and bolster energy security, especially as oil supply disruptions underscore the vulnerability of traditional automotive markets to geopolitical shocks. Initiatives like the EU's 2035 ban on new internal combustion cars are expediting sector electrification. The European Commission just allocated an additional $2 billion for EV charging infrastructure, citing energy supply concerns. Tesla reported a record-breaking 521,000 EV deliveries globally in Q2 2026, a 22% jump year-over-year, while China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology is fast-tracking approvals for new EV battery plants. In the near term, increased EV adoption may create volatility in metals markets, particularly lithium and cobalt, and strain electrical grid infrastructure, requiring accelerated upgrades. Over the medium term, the shift could disrupt automotive labor markets, demanding new technical skills, and reduce oil demand, potentially reshaping geopolitical alignments and impacting oil exporting economies. Moving on, let's look at AI and simulated environments. TechCrunch highlights how General Intuition and Patronus AI are betting big that simulated environments and even video games are the next frontier for real-world AI agent training. Simulated environments are increasingly used to develop and test AI agents in controlled, repeatable settings, leveraging reinforcement learning platforms like OpenAI Gym and DeepMind Lab to improve real-world robustness by pushing agents through diverse scenarios. Commercial applications now span autonomous vehicles, logistics, robotics, and more, with leaders such as OpenAI, DeepMind, NVIDIA, and Microsoft heavily invested in simulation infrastructure. Simula AI just secured $25 million in Series B funding to expand its simulation-based AI training platform. NVIDIA unveiled an enhanced Isaac Sim featuring photorealistic visuals and improved physics fidelity. A recent MIT sales study shows agents trained in mixed reality simulators outperform those trained solely in the real world, indicating major gains in robustness. The consequences are clear. Simulation-driven AI training may speed up deployment in safety-critical sectors like delivery and healthcare, lower business costs by reducing reliance on expensive real-world data, and drive updates to policy and standards for AI safety certification. However, the risk remains that simulation bias could creep in if virtual scenarios don't reflect real-world complexity, meaning ongoing research and vigilance are essential. Now, onto the markets. International equities were mostly lower, with Germany declining over 1% and China large-cap FXI sliding more than 10% month-on-month. France, Italy, and United Kingdom also saw moderate declines, while India bucked the trend with a monthly gain of over 2%. Commodities traded mixed. Gold GLD advanced over 1% on the day, silver SLV jumped nearly 1.8%, while US oil USO lost more than 3% and lithium LIT fell over 3% day on day. Agriculture edged slightly lower, dragged by corn and wheat losses. In favorites, Microsoft MSFT surged over 5% day on day, while Nvidia NVDA slipped more than 1.6%, and Intel Inc. declined over 3%. Among major indices and sectors, SP 500 SPY dropped 0.7% for the session, semiconductors stocks declined over 5%, while healthcare Roman 45 outperformed with a 3% jump and Finance XLF ticked marginally higher. The session's top gainers include Mike, up 429%, and SDOT, up 212%, while SIG dropped nearly 89% as the day's biggest loser. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.